So I'm sure you guys can tell by the color of the leaves. It's fall here in New England, mid-October fall, which is the best time of year. It's still kind of warm during the day. The sights and sounds and smells of the area are just absolutely breathtaking, and unfortunately winter is on the way. So last week for work, I was up north in Vermont, and on my way back through, near where I grew up, I knew of an area that I've always wanted to get permission for to detect. There's a lot of history here, many old homes, a lot of old sites out in the woods, stone walls, you name it, it's around here. So I made it a point on my way back to stop and talk to the local farmer about all of his land, let him know what I do, and they were gracious enough to grant me the approval to come on out anytime I'd like. And I tell you what, the week couldn't get over quick enough because I could not wait to get out here. So, solo today, and as you guys can see in this aerial shot here, I have a ton of land that I've had to cover, and it has not been an easy dig. It has been a very challenging one at that. I have made loops and zigzags and everything throughout the land, and I still have a ton of space and a ton of land to cover. So as you can imagine, one person out here with this much land, it was next to impossible to find those pockets of relics. But I got some cool things on this hunt. Some from way down that way, some from way over that way, and I just ended the day with an awesome find way down in the corner. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. Stick around, hopefully you like this episode, and we'll see you at the first target. So there's my truck there, and I've been zigzagging all through this cornfield looking for any indication of maybe some old home sites, you know, maybe, I think that's just a rock, but maybe pieces of brick, things like that, anything to indicate that there were people out here at one point, hopefully long ago. And haven't really run into anything. I didn't film my very first target out here. I completely forgot. It was just a piece of can slaw, aluminum can, but I did just pull this up. So nothing spectacular. When I first saw it in the hole, I thought maybe it was a bell, but just an iron piece of something or other. Maybe it was a hub to something, a cap to something, I don't know. I don't see any indications that it's screwed on to anything, so it's something. And like I said, it's just me against 100 acres of cornfield, so I'll do the best I can to see what else is out here. For a new location, I mean, you can't beat views like this. Definitely blessed to live where I do and have the ability to come out to these places and see the beauty, especially in the fall. In this giant cornfield, like you guys saw, you know, I really don't know where to begin. What I'm looking for, as you guys have seen in previous videos, I just kicked it out from there. There's another piece right there. It's this old brick. That gives me a little bit of, well, I guess some insight of the possibility of home structures and things like that being out in these places long ago. And obviously brick is man-made, so I believe that's brick. That's definitely a piece of brick. So I'm definitely in the right spot now to locate in all of this area and then some. Old dig hole there, just trash. Hopefully there's some other things left behind. All right, well, get my headphones on here. So I quickly decided to leave the first section because Hurricane Irene came through quite a few years ago now, and the river that I was next to was up and over its banks and completely flooded out. And I mean, the damage that it did down there was absolutely incredible. And I mean, luckily there's still fields there because of all the washouts and everything that happened around Vermont. I have decided to throw everything in the truck. I moved down the road. This cornfield is way more massive than I ever really anticipated. I mean, I knew this area quite well, been by here many times, but the sheer mass of this piece of land is just incredible. And I mean, I'm gonna be very lucky if I can get on a pocket of relics today, so I'll give it my best. I'll see what I can do, and hopefully the next parts of the video, you guys will start seeing some relics instead of all the trash and everything that comes with farm field detecting. So let's get at it and see what happens. I am, let's see, letting the land tell me a story. And I've actually worked my way up this edge here. And I don't know if you guys can see all the rocks. There's a rock right up here. There's a rock over here. There's a bunch of rocks scattered through here. And just on the other side of where the field ends, it drops down into like a little ravine, and there's a little stream going through it. On the other side, there's a stone wall. So I'm assuming maybe the old road, maybe there was a cellar hole here at one point, something. So I've come through here, and I know I said earlier I'm not really looking for iron. Well, all of a sudden the ground came to life with iron tones and just a bunch of different signals. So I'm gonna kind of slow it down in here. Hopefully I found a pocket of relics of sorts, but this is definitely not a bad start. Check this out. So there are the rocks, like I was telling you guys. There's just a bunch of rocks scattered in this one area. And right out of the ground here, look at that wonderful thing. Now, I'm not an expert in axes, but I can definitely tell that has to be an early axe head. I don't know if you guys have seen the other axe head that I found, an early axe head. It had a little V section down here, kind of dropped down. Again, I'm not an expert with what those kind of axes are, but I knew it was old. I knew it needed to be restored, and it's actually hanging up on my wall right now. But I am going to do the same thing with this. How freaking cool is that? Now, I haven't been finding a whole lot of stuff, and all it takes is one relic to start making the day. So hopefully this is it. Let me get right back at it, and let's see if there's any other relics lurking around. Yep. Been all the way down there, all the way over there, and everywhere in between. And sometimes you just have to laugh. I finally got a good tone. It was small, and it was just a stinking Lincoln, your modern clad penny. Beautiful tone. I mean, beautiful tone. I said, finally, this is going to be it. I had something round pop out, and there it is. Let's see how old that is. 1985. I am definitely in over my head today with all of this land. I don't know if I'm going to be able to discover any relics, but I am getting closer to where people have been, especially long ago, because way out in the middle of nowhere here, which I'm hoping had something at one point. It's like a piece of porcelain. Pottery. Definitely pottery. I mean, I can't guarantee that there was things out here. This could have been dropped by a farmer long ago, but when you start finding this stuff, a lot of people will look for iron. They'll look for the iron patches and so on and so forth. But if you guys are familiar with any cornfield detecting, especially here in New England, these giant fields, you know, picture this much larger, right? I'm just a little teeny tiny guy right there. These fields back in the day, a lot of times were divided by stone walls, one way or the other, whatever. You know, a home site might have been here, home site might have been here, something going on out here, who knows, right? Late 1800s, early 1900s to mid 1900s, and a lot of this land was divided up here. People came up from, you know, out of state, whatever. Families bought bigger plots of land just over time, and oftentimes the farmers would go through and they just go, you know, keep the same property, plow it all out, get rid of all the stonework, all that stuff, grow their crops, make some money. So that's why I'm over here. That's why I'm investigating all of this land. I'm going to continue to investigate all this land, and hopefully I'll get into that spot where, you know, a lot of human activity was happening back in the day. Those iron patches are basically the entire field. I mean, things have been spread through here for many years, and everything breaks up, everything rusts, and you're literally, I mean, I literally could be looking for iron patches and the metal detector will just go crazy constantly. So I look for things like this when I'm out here. It helps me, it's helped me in the past, and hopefully we're getting closer to some relics. So I'll keep going, and let's see what we can find. So maybe I just had to come to this side of where I parked the vehicle. I'm working my way down the long other end of the cornfield here. It kind of wraps back towards the train tracks too, and there's a lot of houses along the way. I know on the maps 1800s, a couple of them early 1700s. Maybe it's just a section I was in back there, didn't have anything. As soon as I come this way, I get something. Not the greatest of relics, but it is a relic. It's like just a horse tack buckle, harness buckle or piece, missing the pin obviously, but oh, it actually looks like it's swiveled right there. Still something, and it's better than all the trash I was digging back that way. So who knows, maybe older stuff is out that way. It's a piece of brick right there, and like I said, that's a good sign. I just follow the signs in these fields and they'll produce. Thought that was a coin. It's not though. Just an old button, broken shank. Almost looks like I get it a little bit. I don't know, but definitely an older button, probably mid 1800s. Can't really tell because that shank is busted there. There's really no sense of cleaning it up too much because there is nothing, I don't think, on the front. No, nothing on the front. Old button underneath that rock, and let's hope I'm onto something really good here. I have literally worked my way all the way to the end of this field, and I'm not going to show you the houses up here. They're quite beautiful, but this property goes all the way up to them, and I know that this land right here is old, and like I said, I think it was part of the original property that these houses belong to. So I just had a pretty good tone. I've been digging a lot of can slaw all the way through here. I think I have a copper. It was coming out of there, and let me see what it rings on the thing. It is in the plug. Kind of bouncy. There you go. 23 up to 27. And let me turn my pinpointer off here. I split the plug apart, and do you guys see what I see right there? Please let that be a copper coin. It could be a quarter. That's a copper coin. Finally. Finally. What kind of copper coin is it though? Ooh, I don't know that I'm going to be able to tell right now. I can't really see any detail on that. Can you guys? And I don't know if you can hear the geese over there flying around, but wow, there's a bunch of them right there. And like I said, the sun is definitely setting, and I'm getting to my last targets. I'm actually working my way back to the truck along the edge here, but like I said, I'm on this property down here that I think belonged to the houses right up here, and it paid off big time. Let me let that dry up a little bit, guys, and once I can get an ID, hopefully I can get an ID on that, I will show you. But whew, I've been working very hard for this today, I'll tell you what. So I've cleaned it up the best I can. I'm going to try to use that setting sun to see if you guys can see anything. I think a lot of that will scrape off of it once it really dries out. But right now, it's pretty next to impossible to get a full ID on that. Actually, you know what? I take that back. That looks like a matron head. You see it right there? Lady Liberty looking to the left. So I just ate my own words. I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's an American large cent, which there should be a wreath around there. It should say 1 cent in the middle. And perhaps there she is. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? You got the sun setting right there. You get a beautiful old matron head right here. Very, very cool way to possibly end the day here. All right, so there's the scene of the large cent. Could it be? I've worked this whole field. Let me set the detector over here. I'm going to try to do this live. I don't know how deep it is. Come on, pinpointer. I think it's going to be, oh nope. Oh no, is that a rock? It's a rock. I'm trying to do it live for you guys because usually when there's signs or signals like that back to back, no. What is that? Let's thread it at the end. Let me grab the shovel here. Oh man. Just a big old bolt. Whew, that got my heart going because, like I said, that coin came from right there. I have dug them next to each other before in different areas. Not really so much in a cornfield because they spread out, but whew, I tell you what, I'm glad I hit that one first and not this one because I probably would have just kept moving on. Started doing a circle in here after I found that coin, so oh well, just a big old bolt. I'm going to get heading back to the truck, and if I find anything else, I'll show you guys. So it has been a pretty decent afternoon, actually. I can't complain. I got that axe head definitely is the highlight. I know I ended up with that copper at the end of the night there, and I really haven't hit anything since way down there, and I'm about halfway back to my truck. So I'm actually going to call it quits. Again, like I said, I can't complain. Definitely want to make sure I get back to the truck before dark because things are starting to move and it's pretty thick here. And before I let you guys go, check this out. There's the old bear poop right there. All the seeds and everything, and there's some tracks and everything going through there. And man, they've been tearing apart this cornfield. They've been coming out here, grabbing whatever they can, and they're just dragging it back in there. They have a trail of destruction right here from that pile, and they're just pulling it all back there. Probably raccoons and everything else, but there's some bear tracks and everything along the way, and that bear scat is just letting me know that I am in their territory. And like I said, I'm not armed. I'm usually out here with a defense mechanism, and new properties, new permissions, things like that. I don't usually worry too much about that because I don't want to worry anybody. So I try to respect them the best I can, and don't want anybody thinking I'm out here doing things I shouldn't be. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know I haven't been putting out a lot of videos here and there. Life just gets busy, but you know, when I get the adventures out and I have time to edit those adventures and show you guys what I've been up to, I'm definitely going to do that. If you haven't had a chance, I am on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm trying to post things there quite frequently, just to let people know everything's okay, things are going well, and just sharing the knowledge, sharing the enjoyment of the adventure and the love of history with everybody. So if you're on any of those platforms, feel free to stop over, check that out, and hopefully I see you there. But I'm gonna get heading back and call it a wrap here. So thank you for tuning in. I wish you all the best. I hope you're all safe and happy, and how about until next time, happy hunting.